Hey, you guys, I came tonight to just give my 2 cents on the domestic violence that we've all heard about with the P. Diddy and Cassie situation, which is so unfortunate for Cassie. Um, we've all seen, the footage of Diddy beating her and kicking and beating her as if she was a dog, right? You've seen that footage. I think it was on CNN. When she tried to run away to get to the elevator, a lot of people were saying, you know what, she should have been left because she dealt with him for what, I don't know, 10, 15 years? I don't know. She dealt with him for a long time. We have to keep in mind that Puffy is Puff Diddy Combs, Sean Diddy Puffy Combs, the pussy ass Diddy Combs. Oops, excuse me for what I said, but we're gonna call a thing a thing. Beating on women. For us to see that, for him, not even for us to see it, but for him to do it, I definitely feel like I've always felt. Nothing has changed as far as my feelings towards the Kim Porter situation, from the time I heard of her death up until this very moment. They need to get some people who are not afraid to go ahead and investigate her case and bring justice to her and her kids, you know. But the reason why and I don't want to beat a dead horse, because even though we know the Diddy situation with Cassie is far from over, because we're going to see much more. We're going to see a whole lot more scenarios, not even scenarios, but situations, people coming out, not just from Diddy, but from a lot of these other mega stars. We're going to see a whole lot more. But my focus is not on Diddy and Cassie at this moment. However, Cassie does play a big part in what I'm about to say. As of recent, we've heard Mena and Evelyn Lazaro. They both come out. They both made comments and statements concerning their past relationships. Mena, her situation, I think she tweeted something pertaining to when she was married to Safari, but she didn't elaborate on that situation, but she definitely insinuated that there might have been, quote unquote, some domestic violence there. But like I said, she ended it. She didn't elaborate. I think Ray J, Brandy's little brother, he came out and he was like, Erica, don't do it. It's not the same situation, blah, blah, blah. And my thing was, Ray J, I don't know for sure, but Ray J, sometimes it's okay to sit certain things out. I respect a lot of these celebrities. And when I say celebrities, I'm not talking about public figures, because Mena, Evelyn Lazaro, they're just public figures. They're not celebrities, right? Ray J has, in my opinion, dropped himself down from a celebrity to a public figure, because he's always in the mix, right? All publicity is not good publicity, and it's like he's becoming a little too local. But this is not focused on Ray J either. This is focused on the fact that Ray J, he commented on Mena, who's a public figure, telling her to stand down, and whatever her situation was with Safari or whoever she was talking about is not the same thing. I said what I said about that. Okay. Evelyn Lazaro. You guys. In my opinion, it seems like she comes out every so often to speak her speak, to voice her concern and to plead her case about whatever happened between her and Chad Ochocinco, right? My opinion, I'm not saying whatever she said did not happen. Not saying that at all. But the point that I want to make is the fact that Evelyn Lazaro, we've seen her on TV being abusive towards other women. We've seen that. Now, you guys, I know the judicial system, they have different categories of abuse, right? And I'm not speaking of murder or attempted murder, but then again, it kind of falls into the same category, right? It falls into the same category. I've seen, when I used to watch Basketball Wives back in the day, until it became entirely too toxic, to the point where I was so disgusted that anything Basketball Wives, I won't even touch. I will not touch it. I will not watch it. I will not speak on it up until now, right? Because this is a big thing. Domestic violence, yeah, it's here. We got a big record exec mogul, Sean P. Diddy Combs, who has put his hands, not just his hands, his feet, his saliva, everything on a victim, on Cassie. Like, he's done everything to her, everything. And now we have this video of him actually putting his hands, feet, toes, everything on her, treating her like an animal, treating her like a enemy or whatever. Let me get back on point, you guys. Back to Evelyn Lazaro. Like I said, we've seen her on screen so many times, fighting, acting like a complete freaking uncaged animal, fighting, throwing bottles, actually really physically trying to attack. I guess in her mind, this is what it takes to make good TV. And during that time, maybe it did, but that that quickly dwindled down to being just animalistic behavior. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? You have a daughter. At the time, she had a daughter. She only had that one daughter or whatever. And you're on TV, and this is how you're out here acting for the world to see. So when the situation happened with her, with Evelyn Lazaro and Chad Ochocinco or whatever, I think we all felt bad. I think we all looked at Chad, and don't get me wrong, Chad still has that stigma for putting his hands on her. She had a knot on her head or whatever. But my thing is this right here. And I'm never saying it was warranted. I'm just saying, girl, what did you do? And I'm not trying to come off as if I'm that woman doubting another woman and her victimization. But there's a recording, there's the footage of Tammy Roman actually speaking on this very situation, saying that the only reason why the situation got to the point that it is now was because the neighbors actually heard the altercation. Evelyn never called the police. Evelyn never did any of that. But when it was from, I'm just saying, allegedly, it was some bystanders who heard the altercation, and they called the authorities. And as a result, Chad Ochocinco lost his entire football career. I'm not saying it was right or wrong for him to lose his career, because I know it's these men out here who do things that they shouldn't do. And my thing is this right here. Evelyn Lazaro, in my opinion, has gone down in history as being one of the most violent reality TV stars. If anyone was to ask me who was the best, who was the nicest, who was the kindest, who was the more the whore, who was more of the gigolo, who was more of the abuser, who was more of the catty, who was more of the aggressor in reality TV history, Evelyn Lazaro would be, if not the very first, she would be in my top 5. She would be in the top 5 of the most aggressive, violent reality stars. That's just my opinion. So, for Evelyn to come out yet again talking about domestic violence, I don't know if she did this video or this speech or whatever she said, because I heard it on someone else's channel. I can't even remember who it was. So I don't know if she did a live. I don't know if she was on someone's platform or her own platform. I'm not sure. But for her to come out, my first question is, well, who made her the poster child for domestic violence? That's not a good look. Who lit their platform for her to come out if she was on anyone else's platform or any platform talking about domestic violence? She is not the one. She is not the one, or the two, never the three. Now, she did a live, and this is how this came out. Still, why would you do this? Mena, we've seen you show your ass as well on TV. And now you want to come out and say Safari. Now, let's be clear. Safari, in my opinion, I don't know him personally. I don't know any of these people personally. But just from what I've seen of him, Safari has always been like a corn to me. Like, he's corny. And I don't know him. He could be the coolest person in the world, but he's kind of corny. But he married Mena, and he divorced her ass. I hate to say it like that, but he divorced her. He divorced her, and pretty much didn't want, from what I remember, you guys, I don't follow these people, but didn't want anything else to do with Mena. Right? So to me, I asked, what does Mena and Evelyn Lazaro have in common, other than them being Latinos, other than them being abusive, other than them being drama, other than them being shit starters and just want to just act a plumb fucking fool? Well, other than all of that, they're both Latinas. They're both Latinas who like to disrespect black women. They disrespect black women. They feel like black women are beneath them. From what they've shown us, I mean, let's be clear. Mena is no longer welcomed on Love, Marriage, no, Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, New York, or anything like that. And she got fired from the franchise, and now she's doing TV movies or whatever. Has no respect for black women. Now they will sleep with a black man. They will have babies from a black man. But they got so much heat for black women. Yeah, they do. But what's even more funnier than just how these Latino women are, it's even funnier and sad how black men are. And when I say this, black men, that's their ideal, that's their go-to, that's what they want, right? But they go over there with them hot peppers, and I'm not saying that in a cute way when I say hot peppers, but they go over there with them and they take and endure what they have to offer most of the time, right? Until they can't take it no more. And it's not like they hopscotch back over. They just hopscotch over to another one. But they consider black women as being aggressive, mouthy, belligerent, aggressive, untamable. And I say that because it's like black women have to take the burnt, the fall for every other woman. They blame men, I'm talking about black men, want to blame that on black women. But they will go over to the Latin community, to the Caucasian community, and damn near get themselves killed. Get themselves either killed, damn near killed, or either killed, losing their whole damn career. But they'll blame all of that on black women. And that's so funny to me. It's not even crazy at this point. It's laughable. It's so freaking laughable. It's laughable. So, for the Erica Menas, and I'm not saying everybody in the Latin community, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, from what we've seen, for the Erica Menas, for the Evelyn Lazaros, Evelyn, if you can hear me, honey, don't come out no more talking about domestic violence, honey, unless you're talking about that you have already gone and gotten yourself some help, because domestic violence, like I said, domestic violence, attempted murder, assault and battery, altercation, however the judicial system wants to categorize it, girl, unless you coming to tell me you got some help and you saw your wrong, and I mean it when you say it, because it's one thing to say it, but girl, when the world is looking at you, we can tell you don't mean it. Erica Mena, from what you said on Carlos King, you were always in competition with black women. I watched some of that interview or whatever. You were always in competition with black women. So you already admitted to some of your trauma. Evelyn Lazaro. I just still think you full of shit. I'm not saying Chad Ochocinco didn't go upside your goddamn head. I'm not saying that. He probably did. I'm almost sure he did. And I'm pretty sure you ain't just let him go upside your damn head. I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just simply saying. So you guys, I said all that to actually get to Love and Marriage Huntsville. One particular scene, Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 8, I guess, Carlos King, I don't know. Because you be making these people work for this little bit of money. Season 8, episode 3. We're going to go ahead and skip all that other stuff. We're going to go ahead and get to Melody speaking with Kimmy and Letitia when they was at this plant shop and they were doing these plants or whatever, right? They was building plants and stuff, like they were like growing seeds or whatever. And this was something that Mel wanted to do. This was her idea or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm always up for something new, something different, something to get my mind off of things, because it's a lot in the world to do, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna skip the pleasantries, or maybe I'm not. I remember Letitia, she just kind of goes on and on, in my opinion. They were kind of just talking. I remember Letitia saying that she was so busy. They went to Africa. This is the highlight of her year. This is the highlight of her 3 years. This is the highlight of Letitia's 3 years, because she finally got Marceau to do something that she wanted to do, because she got a lot of backlash, and I'm pretty sure he got a lot of backlash because he went to Africa a few years ago without his family. And now he actually had to take Letitia and his kids to go. So Letitia, I hope you got everything you needed out of that, because you're going to have to wait probably about another 3 years at least before Marceau do anything, because that nigga won't bend. But anyway, so she's going on about that. They're asking her about, and she's like, yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom, basically. She wants to stay home. She wants to be with her kids, right? She says she wants to be around her kids, and there's so much going on with them. And Kimmy says, yeah, because, you come, because we got office buildings, and you can get that one at the end or whatever. And Kimmy was like, yeah, you don't want to do it or whatever. Melanie, being who she is, she was like, well, you can do all of that and be a businesswoman, be a working woman or whatever. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that, but what I want to get to was when Letitia asked Melody about Martell being arrested. Did she have him arrested? Like, did that really, however she said it, she asked Melody, did it really happen, or what happened with that situation? Explained to Letitia and Kimmy the same way she explained to Miss Nell, that, he sent me the video. She thought nothing of it. Then she started hearing things on social media. His little side piece saying that she got it. She showed her sister. She did all this, and Martell, he bleeped his penis out or whatever. So she had to do what she had to do. And she took it to the magistrate, and they put out a warrant for his arrest. Y'all, Kimmy says something to the effect, well, now that she explains it, I believe her. That's not verbatim, but that's basically what she said. Now that she explains it, I believe her. Or I see why she did it. Or I understand. Oh, she's not lying. Oh, she's not full of drama. Because it makes sense. Because he went about it the wrong way. That was messed up, that what Martell did. So now I understand. Or now I see why. So now I look at the situation differently. However Kimmy said it, that's basically the nuts and bolts of what she got from what Melody said. And I was like, out of this whole episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, I was like, wow. 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 So, Kimmy, you're telling me, basically, that if Mel didn't have a better excuse, or a believable excuse, you was just gonna go ahead blindly and side with Martell. That's how I took it. That's how I took it. You was gonna blindly side with Martell. Because why, Kimmy? Martell is a good guy. You guys, abuse can come in many different ways. Let's be clear. Some would say physical abuse is the worst. Some would say mental abuse is the worst. Some would even say emotional abuse is the worst. Some would even say threatening is more of an abuse. I'm going to just keep everything under the same umbrella. And I hope you guys are with me when I say this. Abuse is abuse. Now, everything may not be handled and can go forth to a judge, but abuse is abuse. I just don't understand how Kimmy and Letitia, being women, cannot relate in the slightest way. Kimmy, you are of a certain age. Letitia, you are of a certain age. And although Letitia, you and Marcelo, y'all have been married, and Letitia, you have been married blindly, allegedly, from what we see. And this ain't got to do with no millimeters, ladies. This has nothing to do with no millimeters at all. This is just calling a thing a thing. Letitia, Kimmy. Letitia, it's obvious. You're going to believe whatever Marceau says. You're going to go with him. You might bitch, complain, and moan to him, but he's going to somehow convince and win you over, like we seen in the parking lot of Black a few seasons ago when Letitia went to check Marceau because Miss Wanda came to check Letitia, saying what she heard, and if you let this go down, you're gonna have a problem with me. That's what Mama Wanda said. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I had loved Miss Wanda when she did that. Yeah, I appreciate that, because Letitia was out here looking like a whole damn fool, and still is, in my opinion. but Miss Wanda had to get up in Letitia's behind. And Letitia met Marceau. She told him to come on out at the black little thing in the black parking lot and have this conversation. And Marceau, he came. Let them come at us. Let them come at us with all that they got. This nigga. Let them come at us. And we gonna fight them tooth and nail. Whatever he said. Let them come. Because we gonna stand. We gonna be together. And we see the tears from Letitia and like they had a real moment in that blue Mercedes SUV, mini SUV. They had a whole moment. Okay. They had a whole moment, y'all. And you guys, when I talk, I'm talking. There's no doubt in my mind that Marceau does not love Letitia. And we all know Letitia loves herself some Marceau. Girl, love your husband. But we also see Marceau don't have the patience to deal with Letitia. He just don't. In that scene or whatever, I'm gonna get back to this new season. Marceau does not have the wherewithal to deal with Letitia. Because Letitia can come at him and she can nag and she can nag and she can nag, and that shit can drive him crazy till he has no choice but to be like, you know what? Okay, fuck it. God dang. Let's do it. Okay? And then we have Kimmy. And then we have Kimmy. Then we have Kimmy and Maurice. Kimmy and freaking Maurice. Lord have mercy. Kimmy, did you really have to be married this bad? This much? To this extent? Yeah, I got quiet because I'm waiting on the answer. Did you really have to settle this low just to say you're married? And I don't think you were ever married before. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think you were ever married before. And the reason why I say that, because I've been married before, and I'm younger than you. And I just wasn't gonna put up with just anything. I mean, I did put up with a lot, I'm be honest with you. But I just wasn't, it got to a point where I was just like, I'm not about to put up with this shit. And I know you're probably, and I'm not coming for your age in any way, capacity, or whatever, but my God, Kimmy, my God, my God, my God, you have lived and worked to put your son through school without any financial assistance. You paid for your son to go to school, got him through, made him a man. Not made him a man, but you helped him to become a man. That's commendable. That's so commendable for a black woman to raise a black son. To become an independent man. You did that, and I give you kudos for that. I respect you for that. And I'm not saying you're the only one who's done it, and I'm not saying this is hard or impossible, because a lot of women do it, because that's who we are. As black women, we're gonna do what we gotta do for our kids, because we want them to have better than what we've had. But I can't help but think and wonder how you've done all of this. And I remember Maurice talking to you and talking to Jalen about him moving out. Jalen might have stayed. I don't even know how long Jalen stayed after he graduated college. Did Jalen stay a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years? I don't even think it's been 3 years that since Jalen graduated college that you was already kicking him out, Maurice, you was already trying to get him up, and out of here. Only for you to take your son from Kiowa, your ex-wife, and bring him to the home, Kimmy's home. Now, I don't know if Kimmy and Maurice got this home together. I don't know, but I'ma just assume, in my opinion, this is Kimmy's house. This is Kimmy's house. And you made sure you kept on Jalen to get Jalen up out that house just so you can bring Monster over there, so Kimmy could raise Monster into the man that she raised Jalen to be. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell my women something. My black, white, Puerto Rican, Latino, Mexican women something, y'all. Don't let these niggas play with y'all. Don't let these men play with y'all. Kimmy. I could see if Monster did not even have his mom, right? His mom is very much here, very much living, very much thriving. Yeah, she's here. But Maurice made such a big to-do about wanting his son to come and live with him and Kimmy. And when he gets there, Maurice is nowhere to be found. The best Maurice can do is get his ass up and drop his ass off at school and have them 6 to 8 hours to sit his ass at home and do fucking nothing. And yeah, Maurice, we know you out here saying, oh yeah, I'm a lawyer. I have cases. I work out of state. I do all. Maurice, please. If you had all this to fucking do, if you got all this heavy workload from your law firm, I'm just, y'all. And I'm not even going to talk about Monster like that. I'm not even going to talk about him because he's a young man. That little boy we all saw clearly a few seasons ago, he was missing his mom. Maurice, you and Kimmy, y'all were full of shit. I did not appreciate you guys trying to use this baby as y'all storyline. That was not cool. That was not cool. And I guess it wasn't until Kimmy unfortunately came up with the diagnosis of having breast cancer that y'all switched up the storyline really, really quick. Kimmy, I'm so happy everything is okay with you, and I'm even happier that everything is okay with your mom. But Kimmy, you too old to be dealing with shit like this. Maurice didn't learn shit from his first marriage, in my opinion. You've already raised your child. You shouldn't have to raise your husband or your husband's son. And that's just my opinion. Like I said, you guys, abuse comes in different forms. Because these men out here, they would try it with you. They would try it. So it's so important for my women. Like I said, black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, Mexican, Polynesian, whatever you are, to recognize these red flags with these damn men. Recognize the red flags. And when you recognize them, act on them. Act on them, because no one has to stay with anyone. But Kimmy, I still just cannot get over the fact that you said after Mel told you the situation, you just immediately believed Martell. Martell was in the right, and she's just doing this to hurt him. Martell is fucked up. I remember scenes where Maurice was even trying to let you know Martell ain't the shit. He didn't say it, but he pretty much let you know Martell ain't the shit. Martell did everything that's what's happening to Martell. Martell did it himself.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
Martell did it to himself. But you wanted to continue to say that he was a good guy. He was never a good guy. Maurice was even trying to say that. Y'all, that's all I got for tonight. I will be back with you guys soon on some other video. Y'all please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Road to 1K. I love you guys. Bye.